guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Hello. Hello. Like face-to-face hello, possibly.
And welcome.
Because today, welcome first. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
I know you are. I was trying to find a spot to like continue with our intro so then you could get into what you were trying to say.
That'll be our picture today.
Yeah, it will be. But anyways, welcome
To Offscript,
a podcast.
where we compare books to their movies, and we're officially in season 9.
That's one away from 10, which is
Oh my gosh.
mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, yes. And this season we got a lot of new things going your way.
But first, I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
And
And
now
you'll get
Alli
to know us more.
can
because
very
you can
excitedly
see
tell you about
our
this.
faces. You can see us.
Yes.
If you choose, you can go to YouTube's. Is it just YouTube or is it somewhere else?
So I think Spotify will let me upload them. I just have to figure out if I can do that through Red Circle or what I have to do for that.
Okay.
So as of right now, it'll be YouTube and it'll be Patreon. And if you want to be special and be part of our paid subscription on Patreon, you will get to blah, blah, blah. You will get the link to watch this live every Monday night or whenever we choose to record.
Oh, that's cool and intimidating.
Allie's like, they're gonna see me screw up names
Are
in
we
real
sure
life.
we want? Yeah, are we sure we want that?
That is why it's only for paid subscribers, not for free.
I love it. I'm down for that. Yes. But yeah, you guys, so we are officially a video podcast now. I mean, it's not like a fancy one where we're in the same room with a nice background and the little chairs, and it just looks so
Speak for
cozy.
yourself. I've got a Loki background right here.
Yes. My closets, beautiful closets. My daughter's artwork over in the corner here.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
My
What else I got?
Board games.
Yeah,
all my
look at all your
millions of
board games back there.
Mm-hmm. But also all my books literally right behind me.
Yes, you have a good background.
Yeah, I do.
Mine, I
All
have
my
like
nerdy shit.
chore money for my kids that they don't do. And then my Cricut that we used for off-script merch. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little off-scripty.
A
I have the
little.
banner. Maybe I just set it up every Monday.
Well, honestly, I think with us doing that, you should. You should.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll figure out how to set it up. That'd be kind of fun.
Because then we can use it not just for Nerd Party.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Get our use, our money out of it.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our picture, really, because like you can actually see
also,
us now.
Alli,
That's a pretty good picture.
you were also
What?
really excited about the other new thing that's coming their way.
Yes, I didn't know if we were going to say it now or at the end, but we'll say it now.
Might
Is
as
this the thing
well.
I think we're thinking?
Yeah. I could see
On the
why
same
you would want to
page?
say it at the end. It makes sense. But might as
Okay,
well
no.
drop this bomb here, too.
We have our legit own website now. We're not at Wix anymore.
No more
In the big
wixsite.com.
leagues, we're a .com. We are. Do you want to share it? It was your idea. It was a cute website. I love it.
This isn't it. Look, I've already forgotten it.
You don't even know.
Isn't it this website went off script?
Yes,
There you
so
go.
cute.
Actually, I can't take the credit. You know who that was?
Who?
John.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. He's good.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
But then
I
he
am
said it and I went,
currently-
that is the website. And John went, what? No, I was joking. I was like, no, that's
my
it.
gosh.
That's the website.
That's it. We got it. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I'm currently making the website right now, but I have, as far as I know, I've linked our thing to it, our website to it. But by the time this
beautiful.
episode is out, it will be ready for you guys. So I'm so excited. It's actually fun trying to redo it. It's fun and frustrating. I'm like trying to figure it out, but I'm working on it. And
think
you know,
it'll be
it's me making
fun
it,
and
not a
exciting.
professional. So
Yes. Well, I think it'll be fun.
okay, hold on, it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
All right, y'all. We are covering His Dark Materials today, season 1, which is after the Golden Compass book. And yeah, how are we feeling about that?
Whoa. We never
We're
usually ask that here.
We're mixing things up today.
That's
Let me tell
hilarious.
you about it first.
How
Okay.
are we? How are we feeling about that?
How are we feeling about that? I'm a little nervous now that I know people might see my face. All right, let me tell you about us. Not us, this book. Let me tell you about this book. Okay, so in a world where every person's soul exists outside their body as a companion animal called a demon, a young girl named Lyra how do you say her last name? Thank you. Discovers a mysterious plot involving kidnapping children and powerful substance known as dust. Her journey north forces her into a dangerous conflict between powerful organizations and hidden truths and the nature of free will itself. As she searches for answers, Lyra uncovers a destiny far greater than she ever imagined. One that could reshape multiple worlds.
Yep.
That happens. That should be one of our stickers. Yep,
That happens. Actually, it should be. You're not wrong.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we have our author, Phillip Pullman. Actually, I hear he is Sir Phillip Pullman. Our director, Tom Hooper. Jamie Childs, Otto Batherts, Don Shadford, probably Shadford, sure. Screenplay writer.
Sorry, I'm looking for our thing.
No, you're fine.
Fourth, not Furt.
Oh yeah, that's a TH, not a D. No, so it begins, season 9. Okay, screenplay writer is Jack Thorne and Phillip Pullman, credited as writer / executive producer. So he was highly involved. Very cool.
Well, that actually makes sense then.
Geocaching yesterday randomly, and we found it, but it was in a nest of mosquitoes. So poor Bri got all bit up. Somehow I avoided them, and they were landing on me like crazy.
You were the one who were really like, oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it.
Like it landed on me. I don't know how I didn't get bit.
Yeah, that's lucky.
All right. So our book came out July 1995, and it was first called The Northern Lights, or just Northern Lights, but it soon got changed to The Golden Compass. The show,
which is kind of funny because what's the Golden Compass isn't really a fucking compass.
I know. And it's like, I don't think it's referred to that as like once, right? That it looks like it.
Yeah.
So the show came out November 3rd, 2019. That's 24-year difference.
That's 24. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. And what did it was because that one movie got made and it was so shitty that everyone just wanted.
I know. My gosh. I haven't seen it. I never saw it. Did you see it?
I did. Yeah. I watched it quite a few times. I enjoyed it.
It's so bad. I watched it a lot of times and I enjoyed it.
Compared to what this story is, when you realize that it's based off of a book, that's where it's bad. But it's enjoyable. It's a fun little story. Fun little
we'll have to watch it
because so do you realize that the whole Philip's whole reason for writing this is because he is atheist, and so atheist that he thinks everyone's dumb for being religious, and made a book about it. Well, when they made the movie, they didn't want to lean into that, so they kind of changed everything about that, which changes the whole story. So, yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. And it's like, what I think is hilarious, I could see how it could be construed as an anti-religious thing, but to me, also, how it's written, it almost feels like it's also a pro-religion.
I swear that's what I thought it was at first until book 3 when they listed some things. And I was like, meh, maybe it's not.
Yeah, no, I think he is so convolutedly an atheist that his beliefs very much so mirror religions. It's just that he doesn't like the church, which, okay, I agree. I don't like the church either. But, I'm not going to write a book about it.
Right. All right. So what'd you do first?
I watched the show first.
What good video for our
itchy.
That should be our little clip.
That probably will end up being one. The fun thing with this being video, guys, is we are using a website that makes us reels from our episode. And that's what we're going to be posting on social media all the time. As I still itch. Yeah, I'm partying. Anyways, I watched the TV show first.
I read the book first. I wish I watched it first. Not because content-wise, but because I don't know why I could not, you'll see it in my notes, figure out names for almost this entire book. And that's like, they're not that abnormal. I mean, some of them are like Yorick and like whatever, but like I couldn't remember Lee's name forever. And I couldn't remember Lyra's name for chapters. And Lyra's I couldn't remember because every time the friggin' audiobook author read it, it sounded like a different name. So I was like, what the is her name? I don't know what her name is. And then
isn't it him who reads the audiobooks?
Yes.
The author?
I think he's the narrator. So why are you saying the name different in the first few chapters? Like after I figured it out, I could hear it every time. But I swear, it sounded different every time. And then I don't know. So I wish I had watched it first purely so I could like get character notice and like, okay, now I know the names. I can envision what's happening.
I know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of fun watching it and being like, wow, all this happened. That's cool.
I know that so rarely happens, huh?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
I think this is such a fun story. I really do. And like, I remember when I first watched it, I watched it at Nee's and I kind of thought this was going to be I'm going to start this at her place, watch like an episode a day. We're going to hang out and do other things. And I'll finish it when I get home, or I will never finish it and be mad because I really enjoyed the story. But what ended up happening was I just binged the whole thing except for the last 2 episodes. Like I did not see the last 2 episodes until we did it for Offscript. Because
what? You couldn't go home and just watch the final 2?
Well, because I got home and got wrapped up in life and started doing live stuff. And then I kept like, what happened was I kept getting to the point where I was like, yeah, I should watch it. And then I'd be like, fuck, I don't like, I'm gonna be honest. I watched the last 2 episodes, but I did not remember what the fuck happened the rest of the story. Like I knew the majority of it, but boy, jumping into those last 2 episodes without having watched the rest of season 3 at least, I was like, what all fucking happened? What is this?
Right.
That's why I kept not watching it. But then I was glad when, well, at first, I guess I should also, actually, I guess that could be a why did we pick this book story. So never mind. Yeah.
Here, I love this story. Answer. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought I was just frustrated at how long it took me to get everything. And like, I think I don't know why I just couldn't wrap my head around this for a long time. But I'm glad it's a trilogy because I got it. Because I hate when books do this, when my brain does this. When I get it like halfway through or further and then the book's done. And it's like, well, okay, I finally understood it. Like I get what was happening.
I wish there was more.
Yeah. So now it made book 2 and 3 a lot easier for me. So I'm excited that there was a trilogy and I'm understanding what is going on.
Yeah. Good.
Yes. All right. So why did we pick it?
So I freaking love this. This has been one that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've wanted to read the book, especially because I went into this knowing how badly the movie had done. And I had seen that, enjoyed it. But remember, I loved the TV show so much that I knew this has been on our list for a long time. And I knew I always wanted to pick it either for my birthday month or just to throw in as a series for us. But because it was a TV show and it was like, I don't think this is a series where we could have just did book 1, one season, book 2, another season, book 3, another season. This one was you are signing up for 3 seasons back to back to back.
3 episodes. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I was ready for us to have that big of a TV show task on us. And then we started doing more and more TV shows. And what was it, last season or the season before? We did like 3. And I was like, cool, we could do this. Like, it's actually feasible. But then we got to a point last season where we started like being unsure of our schedule and not being able to get things done on time or having to just adjust books because they were taking too long or yada yada. So then I was like, this is the books that I want to do, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. So I told Allie, I was like, all right, we start it. If you don't think we can do this, we won't do it. And I've got my backup picks picked, but this is really what I want to do. And then we started it, and the fact that we're almost done with it and we're way ahead of even this season coming out. So I'm excited.
We're a month ahead, And yeah, you finished season 2 already, right?
Mhm.
And the
Mhm,
whole
and
thing, like all the books.
I have 3 hours left of the last book, which
Okay.
I've started season 3,
Mhm.
and
Don't
I finished the 3rd episode and went, "What the fuck?" Because the 3rd episode is something that I just read.
Oh, okay, so don't start season 3 till you're officially done.
Yeah, because some things come up where you might be like, "Well, that doesn't happen," but it
It does.
does. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm like, there's some differences that I'm trying to figure out, like, because I also yeah, those are conversations for that season. So,
Okay.
yeah. So don't start it until you finish the 3rd book.
Okay. I got 10
Thankfully,
hours
I'm about to
left,
finish it. Yeah.
and I've just started season 2, but we're a month, like you said, we're a
Mhm.
month before this episode even drops. We got this easy.
Oh,
Easy
yeah.
peasy.
I think we've got this series
Yeah,
completely
last
fine, and
night
then
I
the
was in
rest.
here I
Yeah.
was in here editing our website or making our website, and I just had them just going,
Oh,
and I
smart.
was like,
Smart.
my gosh, like, and I was like, because when I watch him in bed, I love it, but I just get so tired, and I like can make it through one, maybe one, and I'm like, I have to. This is gonna take me a week to get
Bedtime.
through this. Last night, I got through like 3 episodes. I was like, sweet, let's keep this going.
I've started watching them while I cross stitch. So I've been
Ooh,
able to get more of my cross stitch done while also watching our show, and that's just
multitasks.
been great.
Yes, awesome.
Also, because of my feelings about some things or me being confused about some things, I have also been able to get all my videos done for each season done by like the 2nd or 3rd episode. So I'm like, cool, don't have to do that for the rest of the season.
That's awesome. I should do that. All right, are we ready for some super fun facts?
Yeah.
Okay. There's not a whole bunch of fun facts, so I don't know if I'm gonna have 5 for all 3 of them, but I have 5 today. So this is yes.
Also,
Mhm.
I found out from Cherry that there is a prequel series, and I'm
Uh-oh.
wondering if that fun fact that you told me about on the 3rd of July was in relation to that series instead.
No, I think I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure I just read the date wrong. Yeah, I just read the date wrong because it's 1995, and so my dyslexia, not dyslexia, just made it 1955.
That's hilarious.
I was like, holy cow. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, okay, so fun fact number 1. This is the first time that the novels by Sir Phillip Pullman are adapted into a television series. The previous film adaptation, The Golden Compass 2007, was once cited by the author George R.R. Martin as one of the reasons he wanted Game of Thrones to be a television series rather than a feature film. Martin later shared that his thoughts on the series on Twitter. Sounds weird. Calling it so much better than the feature film.
It is.
Yep. Number 2, Leonardo da Vinci's painting Lady with an Ermine
Ermine.
helped Sir Philip Pullman visualize his ideas for
Aw.
the concept of animal spirits.
That's probably why Pan's always in Ermine.
I just kept imagining like a Patronus, except it's not
Yeah,
all.
kinda, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, what would mine be? Just
I
wondering.
know, right?
Number 3, this is the first on-screen collaboration between the former married
Cupper?
couple
Former married
Cupper.
couple.
James McAvoy and Anne Marie Duff since their divorce, but they work together just fine. I don't know who Anne
Did
Marie
they
was.
even have a scene together?
don't
That's
know.
Ma Costa.
Was it?
Ma Costa.
They were
Yeah.
married?
I didn't know that at all. I love her and I absolutely adore him. I didn't know that they were married.
Wild.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't think they had a scene together.
I don't think so either. So easy for them. I thought it was going to be Mrs. Coulter, and I was like, damn.
That would have been awkward. Number 4, since its publication in 1995, his Dark Materials novel have been published in more than 40 languages, have sold worldwide close to 18 million copies, and the announcement of the BBC adaptation was made in 2015 on the 20th anniversary of the novel.
Cute.
That is cool. Wow, it took 4 years to make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These took a long time. That's why when you watch season 3, Lyra and Will are like,
Super
if we
old.
were following the book, they would have been no
The same
more
age.
dust. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Good to know. And Daphne Keene, a.k.a. Lyra, is the only cast member to appear in every episode.
Which is cool. Poor girl. Had so much work.
I mean, Pam isn't even in every episode.
He's not.
Which drives me crazy, actually. We'll probably talk about
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Huh?
I said, yep.
What?
What?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I'm lagging over here. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's start.
I
shall
should
we?
start
Yes.
because we
Yes.
see Azrael dropping off Lyra at Jordan
Yes.
College. But that's really all that happens.
Yes, it is. But it does not happen in the book.
No, it
like,
does
that's
not. Not that we
explained.
see. We
Yes.
hear about it,
Yeah.
but we don't see it.
Yes.
And also, I don't think I pictured him like coming through the swamp to a back door to drop her off.
No,
pictured
I
him,
did
like, coming
not
to the front
either.
door. Yeah.
Sneaking a baby in. You have to watch her. Do it.
Well, I can't even remember what they call it. The something sanctuary, educational sanctuary.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Something.
It reminds me of like we invoke the right of parlay.
Yes, it was very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay, so Lyra, starting with book now, is a girl who she snuck into this room where girls aren't allowed. Not only are girls not allowed, like kids are not allowed. Like it's a very private, sacred room that she is in. She also has this little buddy with her who is her demon. And right now he's like a moth, but he can switch. And his name is Pantalaimon. Yes. So she's in there and she sees the master of the college pour something into a drink that Lord Azrael, her uncle, is going to drink. She's like, oh my gosh, we have to stop this. He's going to poison my uncle. And Pan's like, absolutely not. We can't do anything. We're not supposed to be in here. We're going to get in trouble. And her uncle comes in, and right before he takes a drink, she bursts out because the master had left the room. And so she bursts out of this cabinet and she stops him, and he's angry because she's in this room. But then she tells him what happened, and he's like, hide back in there and pay attention to the master. And she's like, okay. And she's hiding, and he fake spilled the drink and blamed it on the, like, I don't know, steward
Server
boy
boy.
or whatever.
Steward, that's what it's called.
Yeah. And yeah, that's where we're at.
I think it's hilarious how my It Funko Pop has lined up in my microphone. He's coming for you, Allie.
Oh, no.
So I guess I also should have continued because we also see Azrael in the north doing his studies that he then runs back to Jordan College to tell everyone about to try and get money for. So in this part of the book, in the movie, well, in the TV show, Lyra is basically parkour master and just running all over the building's roofs and stuff. And rather than being in a closet or like little armoire in the office that Azrael's going to be in, she has run on the roof because she saw that Azrael was here and she's like, oh, I need to go and see him. I want to see my uncle. And she gets to a window and she crouches down when she hears people there. And so she witnesses everything through a window.
Yeah, so she's not even in the room. So she's already not breaking the sacred rules.
Yeah. So she's outside of the room and sees the poison, but also like isn't totally sure because also she's not in the room. So it's like, is that poison? I think that's poison. And then she jumps into the room to stop Azrael from drinking it, and she like knocks it out of his hand, and then he bends down and tastes he like lightly tastes the poison.
I know. I'm like, it's freaking poison. Like, isn't that enough to kill you? Like, what's happening? I don't understand poisons, apparently. Oh my gosh.
And then also at this point in time, Lyra starts talking to her uncle about when are you going to take me up north? Because in the TV show, she's under the impression that he is going to take her up north.
Okay. So she's hiding back in the closet, and there's this council meeting going on, and they're talking about lots of stuff. And one of the things that they're talking about is Lyra's uncle, who is going north, as we just said. And he's doing something with the Northern Lights and all this sort of stuff. They also made mention about how they wanted somebody there. I don't know. I didn't understand this part. Or they were talking about somebody, and the uncle's like, he's not coming because boom. And he like lays this ice block on the table, and apparently it's his head cut off. And Lyra's demon starts freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, we need to go. Like, this is too long. No. And there's not much they can do. They're stuck in the closet. But she did clock that the master came in and like first thing he looked at was Azrael and the poison. So he was paying attention to it. And eventually she fell asleep and she was woken by her uncle. And she's like, can I please go to the north? And he's like, no, sorry. Too dangerous. You can't do. You gotta stay here.
I guess I also forgot, instead of getting put in an armoire to kind of spy, he puts her in a chair under the window, like a bench under the window.
Like a chest. Yeah, like a window.
Where she was
bench.
way far away from everyone, so it's not like she could really spy.
Yeah,
Whereas,
and she was
in the book,
didn't she have to lay down weird? Like, it was like, how do you even see anything?
Yeah, you don't. And like in the book, he purposefully he put her. There's another one. He purposely put her in the armoire and then put seats like right in front of her and led the people he wanted her to listen to in front of her.
That's right.
Whereas no. But then he also in the TV show kept like staring at the chest. Where
I know.
Get it? It was for us, but like,
way to be conspicuous.
Yeah, if I were one of those people, I'd be like, what's in that chest? Yeah, why you keep staring? You keep talking and looking directly at that chest.
Oh my gosh. All right. So now we get movement and we're with the master and the librarian of the college. And they're talking about how their plan failed. And the reason they wanted to do it was so that Lyra could have a little bit longer. And instead, she's going to have to be a betrayer. And they didn't want her part of this yet because she's too young. But they weren't able to kill her uncle. So now her part in all of this starts sooner. So we're all, as readers, are like, what is happening? Because we thought you were the bad guy, but you're not.
You're trying to help Lyra. So
but
her
Lyra's
uncle's
the
bad guy?
Yeah, is Lyra the bad guy? It's very twisty.
Mm-hmm. That pretty much happens.
Okay, so Lyra and her friend Roger he's like a kitchen boy. And they're getting into lots of mischief. And they jump from roofs and they wander around all campus and everything. Like at one point, they went down to the crypts where all the dead people are and their demons are with them.
You actually didn't make note of this. So in the conversation that she had with Azrael before he was like, I'm not taking you north, he was like, you're a kid. You know how to get into trouble. Like, have fun here. Figure things out. And she's like, I know everything there is to know about Jordan College. I've been on all the rooftops. And he's like, but have you been underground? And then she's like, there's an underground. And that's what leads them to find the crypts. And I say this because when the TV show starts, the first time we were with Lyra, she's running around with Roger and they run right into the crypts.
Got it. That's right. No prep. They just know. And so anyway, so she's down in the crypts and she thinks it's hilarious to move like these stones or whatever, medallions that link your demon to you after you die. And she's like messing with them. Which, by the way, they're not supposed to touch each other's demons. So doesn't that count as like touching a demon? Wouldn't you think?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. You're probably right.
So she's making all bad choices. And then eventually they come and like haunt her. And she goes back and fixes them really quick. But it's just all their mischief going around. And yeah, that's been their fun.
I'm so mad this part doesn't happen in the TV show. They just go down into the crypts and Roger's freaked out by it. And so is Pan.
Yeah. All right. So.
Yep.
We find out that children have started being taken. They're taken by what everyone has deemed them as the gobblers. And there's stories about like the gobblers do this or the gobblers do that. But like everyone knows that your kid gets taken, it's bad news. And so there's this golden monkey demon who takes the demons because people can't touch the demons. And once you have someone's demon, you pretty much have them under control because there is like, if you're choking the demon, the person is getting choked. It's like a voodoo doll almost sort of thing. And then this very nice woman is talking to this kid and she ends up taking this kid and they're all put into this dungeon. And the thing they have all in common is none of them have hit puberty yet. So they're all about 10 years or younger.
In the TV show, we get to see the Egyptians. We see Ma Costa with her kids and like one of her kids. So before puberty, your demon just changes, has the ability to change into whatever they want. Like if they want to fly, they can be a bird. If they want to swim, they could be a fish. But once they hit puberty, your demon decides what they're staying put on and stays put. And so we see her eldest going through this. And then Roger doesn't go missing. until a little while later in the show.
Right, this is Billy that goes missing in the book. I think so. Isn't that who gets taken in the book first?
Well, first it's the random
Or is
kid,
it
not Billy.
in the book?
And then it's Roger.
Right. In the book, is it some random kid or is it Billy that we get his story? So this is just some random kid, just to explain what the Gobblers do. Okay. And then
but TV show put it to Billy.
As Billy. Okay. So then, yes. And so then, I don't know if I have this in here. I don't, but I'll talk about it. Okay. So the kids play gobblers, kind of like cops and robbers.
I guess I should also say that after the scene where Makosta's oldest kid gets his little ceremony, then the littlest kid is running around and his demon ratter comes across a golden monkey.
He gets taken. So the kids play like gobblers, which is like cops and robbers, and they don't really, I think, understand how scary it is until finally, Ma is comes out and she can't find Billy anywhere and she's freaking out and the kids are like, I don't know, I haven't seen him, what are you talking about? And then later that day, or maybe a couple days later, Roger goes missing and Lyra is like, my best friend is gone, where's my friend, let's find him. And everybody's like, he's been gone a couple hours. And she's like, you don't understand, Ma Costa's kid just got taken and that means they're in the area. And they're like, no, he'll be back. So she's freaking out. No one cares. And she has to go get ready because they're having a whole dinner with all the masters of the college and a couple women scholars are coming. And one of the scholars is younger and she actually starts bonding with Lyra and she has a golden monkey demon.
So Roger doesn't really go missing until the day that Lyra goes to leave with someone. And also, Azrael in the book has already left, and Lyra was like, whatever, this is what Uncle does. Whereas in the TV show, Lyra runs to him and is pissed. She's like, you can't leave without me. And my next note is, Lyra's obsessed with going north because that's all she can talk about in the show, which in the book, she didn't know about the north really until she watched that meeting.
Right.
And
even then she's like, that'll be cool, I want to go. And then he's like, maybe next time. She's like, oh, okay. And then leaves
Guess I can't go. Yeah. Whereas she's like, you promised. You told me you'd take me north. We're going north.
Right.
Take me with you. And in the book, Roger's mom is around, but in the TV show, Roger is an orphan and has no mother. So when Roger goes missing, Lyra runs to his mom and is like, have you seen Roger? Where is he? In the TV show, she has no one to do that to.
Well, okay, so Lyra and this golden monkey woman, which is, her name is Mrs. Coulter, end up hitting it off. She explains all these places that she went to and she's an explorer and she's just so interested. I know, how did I get Superman in there? I don't know.
Superman ended up talking about all these places.
How cool. Gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to just fly past some facts here. And
Sorry, that one was too hilarious to let slide.
These voice to text. So Lyra told her everything, all the adventures she goes on with Roger, the crypts, the jumping off the roofs, everything. And later, the master, not her uncle, right? The master said, your time at the Jordan College is done. It's you need to move on. You need to go be with, because there are no women scholars. So he's like, you need to go be with Mrs. Coulter. And she's like, oh, Mrs. Coulter? Okay. Because at first she didn't want to go. And then she found out it was Mrs. Coulter she'd be going with. She's like, sweet, let's do it. And he very
yeah, what the fuck is that?
Toothpaste it first.
Oh, she hates it at first.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I said all that already. All right. So before she leaves, he very quickly whispers to her that he's sorry and he didn't want her to go yet.
This was the dean of the college. It wasn't her uncle.
Right. It was the master, the dean of the college. Yes. And he gave her a tool that looked like a golden compass. And he's like, this is an alethiometer. It's a truth-telling device, but you have to figure out how to use it. And then whoever came in to usher her away, and so she had to go. Oh, because he had... Sorry, hold on. He had one more thing he wanted to tell her, something about her dad, but he got cut off. And not her dad.
Oh, yeah, that's
Laura.
Wow.
What? Not her dad. Oh, who the heck? Lord Asriel, that's who she has to talk. Like,
Her
that's what
uncle.
her uncle. What? That's so weird. What a slip of the tongue. Who would think such a thing?
Why did you think it was a dad, not
So
uncle?
weird.
In Lyra's talk with Mrs. Coulter in the TV show, Mrs. Coulter tells Lyra to believe in the gobblers, which I think if a lady's told me that and then they were like, hey, this is who you're about to go live with, I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. We're good. But then Lyra, on the day that she's leaving, she's running around trying to find Roger. This is when Roger gets taken. And she's freaking out, and she's like, I can't leave with you. And Mrs. Coulter is like, don't worry, I'll help you find Roger. Which, again, I'm like, why would she say that?
Right.
And then in the TV show does a really good job, obviously, at being a TV show where you follow more than one character and you're following different storylines. So the TV show, we end up jumping back in with the Egyptians to see how they're handling Billy being gone and what they're doing. And then we also then see the kids that the gobblers did take and where they're being held in the TV show. And the rest of that does happen.
Leave me alone. Oh my gosh.
What is she doing?
She's doing the woman now, and it's a whole different life. That's my note right there. I think.
Don't you remember that in this book?
Duh. No, I think what I'm saying is she's doing like women things now. Like it's a whole male college. Listen, let me finish. It's been a whole male college, so they take like cold baths and like it's just not nice. It's not good. So she got like a really like bubble bath, a spa. She gets to go shopping. She has like fluffy pillows and stuff. Like, blech. She's just in Ladyland now.
Is such a way to say that.
Well, I'm sure that's not what I
She's
said.
She's doing the woman now, and it's a whole different life.
I'm sure that that's not what I said, and that's what my phone thought I said. No. All right. So it's been 6 weeks. They've been having a grand old time, but now Mrs. Coulter finally snaps at her because she was holding her handbag. She's like, because she put, at least she did it in the movie or the show. She did this in the book too, where she started talking to Pan about the alethiometer, and she's like, I think I should just keep it on me just in case. And so that's why she kept her purse on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That happens in the book too.
Okay, so she has her purse on, but inside. And Mrs. Coulter's like, take that purse off. And she's like, I really like the purse. I don't want to take it off. I love it. Thank you so much for it. And she's like, take it off. And she's like, what? Like, I like it. And so the golden monkey attacked Pan, and it ended up hurting Lyra and all this sort of stuff. And Mrs. Coulter's like, maybe if you listen next time, this won't happen. And after that, Lyra did not trust this woman at all. Could you imagine, like, your mom torturing you with your soul? Like, what the heck?
It is why when Lyra finds out, she reacts the way she reacts.
Yeah.
Because mom's a bitch.
Oh, they didn't know that yet either.
No, I know. You are doing so good. So good. That's why
Mom,
I paused. I was like,
why would I think that's her mom? That's so weird. Times 2.
I was like, I don't know if I should even respond to this, but it's already too late.
Jeez Louise. Hey, you came for the spoilers. You're just getting them a little early.
That's what we do. The one thing that, I mean, I guess I could see book Mrs. Coulter doing this too, but the TV show fucking makes you feel for her demon. Because she is a bitch even to her demon, which I think is just to show the kind of person she is, because your demon is a part of you. Your demon is your soul, and she abuses her fucking demon even.
Yeah.
And I think that's insane. I just, his little sad monkey eyes whenever she's so mean to him. I'm like, I'll hug you.
Why does her demon not talk?
I don't think it's ever explained. This was one of the things that I talked with Cherry about, and I was like, I also realized another thing in season 2, but I can't say that.
Okay.
In the TV show, but I won't say that until you've watched it. But Cherry said that either it's in a prequel or she read something Phillip Pullman said, and it's basically, it shows her personality. It shows who she is on the inside. She is not someone who's friendly. She is not someone who's talkative. She is withdrawn, quiet, evil, unfortunately.
That makes sense.
But I really don't understand it because everyone else's talks. Also, it was fun. I thought it was hilarious, actually, because
Right.
Cherry also told me that Mrs. Coulter's demon's name, although it's never revealed in the series, is actually, people believe that it's Malice.
Okay.
And then after me and Cherry had this conversation, the next episode of the TV show that I was watching was Malice. And where the episode had left off last was something to do with the golden monkey. And then the next episode was Malice, and I was like, oh, I bet that is his name. So if that doesn't help you too.
Right. Sad.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, in the TV show, Mrs. Coulter's demon attacks Lyra's demon. This is also now where she angrily yells, I don't understand why you love Azrael so much and hold him up to a high standard when he's been such a shit father. And then Lyra's like,
My
father?
What? He's her dad?
What? I never would have guessed. That was such a lucky slip of the tongue earlier, Allie.
So lucky. How did I say that and get it right?
Also, I don't think it happens because her demon can't be far from her. In the TV show, Lyra hears the golden monkey all throughout the vents because the golden monkey is traversing all throughout the apartment through the vents.
Yeah. How'd that happen?
There is something in season 2.
Well, it kind of sort of.
Not even the book. Not even the book. There's something in season 2 that alludes to something, which would then make me go, okay, maybe. But also I'm like,
interesting. Okay. Well, I'll get there.
I bet if you thought about it, you could figure out what they think.
Yeah. I kind of, maybe.
But also I'm like, that's dumb.
Right?
That's not it at all.
Oh, okay. So they are having a dinner, Lyra and Mrs. Coulter. And there's really fancy people at the party. And one of them wanted to know as much about Mrs. Coulter as she could. But Mrs. Coulter came in and it's like, you weren't invited. You need to leave. And it turns out she was like a journalist or whatever. And she told Lyra, anytime that you notice someone that isn't invited, come and tell me. And she's like, okay. And as she's talking to people, she's like learning about dust was mentioned, which I forgot to say, dust was mentioned way back and when she was hiding in the cabinet with Lord Azrael, and she was fixated on it. What the heck is dust? And so it's mentioned again. And so she's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to know information. And she's trying to get as much information as she can without being obvious. And she realizes that Mrs. Coulter has this weird plan about stealing children. So she's the gobbler and she's mind blown, freaking out. We got to get out of here, Pan.
So before the party in the TV show, Mrs. Coulter has some bad dudes show up, and it's people from the Magisterium coming to talk to her about their plan. And Lyra sees this and tries to walk up and eavesdrop through the door, but then a bunch of Mrs. Coulter knows that she's listening, so she opens the door and is like, you shouldn't be here. And then the dudes leave because they're like, oh, you're not going to be able to have this conversation with her here. And a bunch of stuff happens. But basically, it's we find out what she's doing in this scene that we find out later on in a very different way in the books. So then, because Lyra just heard all of this that night, she decides to use the vents that she's been hearing the monkey climb through while she's been there to go get into Mrs. office, study, that's what it's called, to see if she could find out more information on what these guys were talking about. And she finds this thing, these blueprints for the slicer.
Yes.
And the party happens, except for the main difference is Lyra gets to finish her conversation with the journalist, and the journalist is who essentially spills the beans that Mrs. Coulter is part of the oblation board, which is what the gobblers are. Or wait, no, I think she reads the name on the blueprint and she's like, what is this? But then when she hears the journalist say it, she's like, the gobblers, fuck. And then she tries to leave.
Yes. So she finds out that Lyra is in on the plan. She's wanting Lyra in on the plan. She wants Lyra to help collect children. And she's like, what the heck? Yeah, right. So at night she decides to escape and she runs off, and eventually she's found by people on boats, some sailors, because she got lost at sea. Did she get lost at sea, or they found her before they went out on the boats? I can remember how it did in the book.
They found her before they went out on the boats. It's Egyptians. It's not how it does it in the movie.
Okay. So she is working. Oh yeah, that's why I asked before you got lost. Did the Egyptians find her?
Oh.
Like, was she lost at sea, or
No, she
Okay.
was running. She was just trying to, she didn't know where she was going, so she was just running. And then she ran into them, I think.
Okay, and they
something
were
like that.
going to sea to find their
Mhm.
missing kids. Okay.
Yeah.
So she shared her story, and they had information too on the gobblers and their missing kids and everything. They find out that Lord Asriel, or she finds out now that Lord Asriel is not her uncle. He's her father. And the golden monkey woman is her. Did you guys see that
Mind
coming?
blown. Never.
No, you
It's
didn't.
not like we've said
You're
it this
frozen again,
episode yet.
just so you know.
Should be
We
good.
find out, Lord Asriel killed Mrs. Coulter's husband because they had an affair together, and they found out that she was pregnant. So he took Lyra. He had this plan for her. He dropped her off at the college. Lyra then shared to these guys, hey, I also have this truth-telling compass called an alethiometer. They're like, what? That's so cool. And
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to keep continuing. That's why I was sitting there like,
oh, sorry. Should I have?
No, this is fine because there's
The next one's
differences
really
here.
long. That's why I stopped.
Yeah. No, I think that's smart because, so basically, after Lyra has finished talking to the journalist and finds out that Mrs. Coulter is part of the gobblers, she books it out of that party and she escapes out of the party and she's running down streets, and then she gets what we think is kidnapped by the gobblers because they put a black sack over her head and grab her, but really it's Egyptians who stole her. And then we flip back to Mrs. Coulter and the Magisterium bad guys, and they're pissed that Lyra's gone, and they're like, we need that alethiometer, which is never something that they talk about in the books when we flip to them. They don't give two shits about the alethiometer, but in the TV show, it's a big thing. And then Lyra, basically, the whole entire TV show, Lyra just wants to find Roger, which, yes, she does want to find him in the book too, but almost every other line in the TV show is, I've got to find Raja. Oh, we can't do that. We have to find Raja. And then I guess I will also talk about this here, even though we've kind of briefly mentioned this. Actually, no, we only talked about how you can't touch people's demons. Pan just talks to every fucking person in the TV show. And in the book, your demon does not have conversations with anyone except for you, unless it's like a super dire situation.
I was wondering that because I was like, did they ever talk to other people in the book? I didn't remember that. Okay.
Nope. It says pretty early on in the book where that people's demons do not talk to other people. They just talk. It's just their person. Whereas in the TV show, Pan's basically best friends with everyone and will chit chat with anyone who walks up to him.
It's like, hello, how are you?
Yeah. And then I guess I will also say this now. Basically, Lyra tells Egyptians that she wants to get to Mrs. Coulter's because she knows that Mrs. Coulter's got plans in her study about what they do with the children. And so she knows that the Egyptians are looking for the children. So she's like, this will help. We need to go back.
Yes. They're like, that's crazy. We can't go back. Yes. All right. Okay. So she's talking about this alethiometer to they both have such similar names. John Fa, and what's the other one?
Fodder Karam or something like that.
Yes. So she's talking to them. And Laura Advil. Oh, Lord Asriel. Okay.
How you were able to figure that out, I have no idea. Laura Advil.
All right. So she's telling them about it. And she's like, I think that I'm supposed to keep it secret from Lord Asriel. I can't even think now. Asriel. And then
Lord Advil.
The John Fa or whoever she's talking to is like, what if it's the opposite of that? And you're supposed to tell him. And she's like, wow, I never thought of that. And so right now, currently, there's this bounty out for Lyra, like 1,000 coins for her. And the captain said, if anyone in my crew turns her in, then they better think again and get off my ship or whatever. So they're setting up to go on this mission to get Lord Asriel and all these stolen kids because Lord Asriel is also locked away up north. And John Fa, right, is talking with the group, and they all got about 100 people and 100 coins. They all put coins together, and about 30 soldiers willing to fight, and a bunch of gold. It's they're doing pretty good. And maybe they got like 100 people ready to fight. I don't know. So someone's like, are you bringing the women along so we can help to care for the children? And he's like, I didn't think about that. That's a good idea. And then at no point did he mention Lyra at all, other than telling them who she is. And after the meeting, Lyra's like, well, am I coming? And he's like, no, you're not coming. It's too dangerous. And she was pissed.
This part doesn't happen because basically Lyra gets kidnapped and put right on the boat already. So it's like she's already a part of the group.
Right. The fighting about not being invited is not a thing, but the whole talking to everybody and like putting everybody like in and
that
saying,
part happens.
That does happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But what does happen in the TV show is the Magisterium and Mrs. Colt. Oh, wait, no, just the Magisterium. They board the ship looking for Lyra. And so they have to hide Lyra in little crevices to keep her secret. And then after that, that's when they're like, okay, we do need to go break into Mrs. Coulter's place. So Tony breaks into Mrs. Coulter's study and he gets a list of all the kids that were taken. And when I see that, I'm like, how does that help? Just knowing the kids' names. Like, that's the least effective piece of information you could have grabbed. And then in the TV show, we now jump and we're with Lee. And Lee is looking for Uric all throughout the town where we find Uric. And Lee is essentially how we find out about him. But I feel like I should stop because we're not even to Uric.
We are not
in
to
the book.
Lee or Uric yet.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So we learned about demons and how you can't touch another person's demon. And it's well known that even in war, people do not touch each other's demons. Yes.
I see why I brought Lee up because here's something that I don't think happens in the book. Lee in the TV show is flying over the Egyptians. So we see him over the Egyptians and then we get to be up with him as he's flying over the Egyptians.
Okay. And so, and as we said, when demons are young, they have the ability to change to whatever they want. And Pantalaimon is Lyra's demon. And this is me catching up because I'm like, oh, I remember all these things that were said chapters and chapters ago.
That are important now.
Yes, I realize they are important. Okay, so she's talking with people on deck and she's trying to figure out how to read this alethiometer. And she's a bit confused because like decoding it, she's like, it's like she gets to like turn things and then things turn and she's like, they have pictures, just doesn't really know what to do. But she finally thought she read it, but it said that a certain person is going to die. And she's like, well, I can't have read that right. Like, they were just here. Well, sure enough, they get called to deck and that spy that they had got shot with an arrow and he held long enough to talk for a little bit and then he died. And that made the captain change his mind about Lyra and said, oh, you're coming with us because you can read this compass. And they start chatting and these like metal fluttery bird like beetle things come and they capture it because, well, I think one got away in the show. Did one get away in book 2? Yeah. And they're like little spy bugs. So now Mrs. Coulter knows where they are.
There is no spy who gets shot in the TV show.
Instead, it's the friend that they go and he dies in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
When they're trying to steal because, yeah, Bri said that Tony went back to steal, and that's when he got the list of names, and he went with a friend, and then the friend jumped in the elevator. Yeah, sad.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the friend is the one who died.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, they captured the things,
and that does happen.
That all happens, yeah. Okay.
I will say in the TV show, too, though, it feels like everyone knows that Lyra has the alethiometer, whereas in the book, it's very, like, only a few people know.
Yes. So then they start talking about witches, and they know that it's a witch's demon because they like a bird comes and flies down on a ship, and they know it's a witch's demon because witches can be away from their demons, and everybody else you cannot be far from your demon. And they spoke with this witch thing, and they talked to them about the alethiometer, and Lyra showed it to the little demon, and he was fascinated. He told them that they need to. Oh no, he wasn't okay. The bird part happened, the demon bird part. But then they went and talked with like the witch council or whatever, the one that is in between. If this guy approves of you, then you get to see the real witches. And so they're talking to him. And Lyra showed him the alethiometer and he's fascinated. And he told them that, hey, she's like, what would you ask? Like, what is something that we should be asking you? And he's like, I would be asking for an armored bear for this next part of their quest. And so she's like, okay. And so they go and they look for this bear and he looks mean, but Yorick is the bear, and the captain and him are talking, and basically, or maybe it's not the captain, it's the other one. Whatever the other one's name is.
John?
Decorum something, right?
Decorum?
I don't know what his name is.
Wait, the dude who told him about Yorick?
No, the beard guy.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Scroll. Fardecorum is his name. Fardecorum, whatever his name is.
Oh,
okay.
That one.
Yes. So he's out there talking with, what's his name? Yorick. And Yorick's like, they stole my armor and I'm gonna get it back and I'll tear up this whole town. All this sort of stuff. Because he's mad that his armor's gone. And she's like, if I get it back, will you help me? And he's like, yes, I will help you.
So the first time we hear about Yorick in the TV show is through Lee talking about Yorick, not this dude. But then we do go to this dude. And yeah, the reason I put everyone knows that Lyra has an alethiometer is because in the TV show, this dude literally was like, I hear you have an alethiometer or something like that. And then there's a part in the book where the guy asks about how she knows how to read it, or if she knows how to read it, and Father Quorum like starts to lie and is like, no, she doesn't. She's like dabbled in it a little bit, but she doesn't know anything. In the TV show, that doesn't happen. Lyra just automatically is like, no, blah 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. And for some reason, I think maybe it's because he is the guy who tells them about Yorick, but I really pictured this dude as a bear when I was reading the book.
You pictured the guy that told him about Yorick as a bear?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because I know that Yorick is a bear, but
right.
Yeah.
That's funny. He said to ask for a bear. Go find a bear. Why would he be telling them to find a bear if he was a bear?
Specific bear? And then when she's talking to this dude, so in the book, Yorick is a Panzerborn, and this is a word that Lyra has never heard before, and so the first time she hears it, she's like, what does that mean? Whereas in the TV show, she hears about Yorick, and she goes, he's a Panzerborn. Oh, and then we get a scene where we see that the Magisterium is pretty much angry at Mrs. Coulter to the whole entire TV show.
Okay. So they went and talked to a witch, and they found out information about this bear and about how he was tricked. That's why his armor's gone and all this sort of stuff. And they found the leader, the John Fa, and they're like, we need this bear. And he's like, no, we don't need this bear. He's bad news. He's dangerous. He won't show us allegiance. It'll be a waste of time. And Lyra's not having it. She knows she wants the bear's help. So she went to the bear with she went to the bear. And then Lee shows up and wants to deal with cards, like play cards. And she took this opportunity to sneak off because he's playing cards with Fardecorum and John Fa or whatever. And on the way, Pan did not want to go. So he's like fighting, trying to pull her back. And she's like, no, come on, you're hurting me. Let's go. Finally, they get to the bear and like Pan's super nervous. And he updates her on what has happened and why his armor's gone and they tricked him and all this sort of stuff. She also asked, why don't you just make more armor? And he's like, so the armor is like our souls. Like we put our soul into this work. So that's my armor. I need it back. And she's like, I will figure out where your armor is. She did a little golden compass thing, her little alethiometer. And she's like, here it is. And he's like, check. And then he went and he starts tearing up the town. First, she's like, you can't hurt anybody. He's like, I will only hurt them if they fight back. And so she went and tore up the town. And sure enough, he went black again.
Yeah. Well, sorry, guys, if my video was shit any part of this. Brand spanking new to video podcasting.
Hey, we gotta crawl before we walk. So, you know what?
Exactly.
It's fine. We're fine.
It's good.
Yes, but I got it. Okay. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1. We're fine. It's fine.
Exactly. Our first time doing this.
Yes.
There's going to be some bumps.
Exactly. All right. So here we are. I think it's your turn. Or is it my turn?
I think we had just finished saying that the kid who went with Tony to break into Mrs. Coulter's office died in the elevator.
That was a long time ago.
What else did we talk about?
They went and they're at talking to what's his name? Yorick and everything.
Fuck yeah, we are. Sorry. When I was scrolling through to find our notes in my now downloaded notes, that's where my brain went. I was like, yep, I remember talking about this. Okay, hold on.
I just talked about how Lee is doing cards and Lyra's able to sneak
it is
off.
my turn. I do remember what I was about to say now.
Okay.
So in the TV show, Lee actually starts a bar fight, and it's to pickpocket people. He doesn't end up playing cards with Father Coram. Also, he goes around with Lyra, but not completely everywhere. Lyra finds Lee because he's basically standing on a soapbox yelling about, does anyone know where a bear is?
That's right.
And she comes up and is like, what's he mean to ya? And then, oh, that is not the page of notes that I'm on. Oh, and at this point in the TV show, this is when Father Coram decides to tell Lyra about his child with one of the witches, Seraphina.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lee is the one in the TV show who tells Lyra about Yorick's armor and how it's basically his soul, like her demon. Also, the other thing in this TV show, every time we jump to other characters that aren't Lyra, they're always talking about the prophecy and how the girl is involved in the prophecy and all about the prophecy. Whereas in the book, the prophecy didn't really get brought up until later or in book 2.
Yes, exactly.
And then Lee helps Lyra get Yorick's armor in the TV show. It's not just Lyra sneaking off to go get it.
Right. Yep. Cool.
Oh, I feel like there was something else I was about to say. So Lyra, to convince Yorick and Lee to join her, says that the Egyptians really wanted them and tricks them basically into coming along for the ride.
Yep. Okay, so Lyra gets this really strong feeling that she has to go to this little town nearby. And so she talks to Yorick and she's like, I gotta go. And he's like, I have no allegiance to you. I have it to whatever, far decorum, which I don't know why when she's the one who got his armor back, but okay. And she's like, what if I get him to say yes? Then yes, you can do it. We'll go. And so she gets him to say yes.
It's because Father Coram talked with Yorick and said, you need to protect this girl at all costs. And so he was like, yes, we're going to protect her. And the way to protect her is to not go gallivanting around on random fucking side quests.
Got it. Okay. So then she got him to say yes. So off they go. Yes, they finally get to this town. And it's like people that couldn't really speak the same language as Lyra, but the bear could interpret for them. Yorick, the bear. And finally, they found this child that he kind of was like the monster of the town. Like everyone around is like, oh no, he's cursed. Don't to talk to him because he didn't have his demon. And they're like, what the heck? Like he's acting so weird. His name. We find out his name is Tony, and he just keeps saying Rata, and he's looking for his little demon. And then they realize this is what the gobblers are doing. They're severing their children from their demons, and this is like the most awful thing that Lyra's ever seen.
In the TV show, she decides that they're going off, and they go off. There's not really people tell her not to, but it's not as big of a deal as it was in the book.
Well, she had to get Ma's consent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the big difference there.
Mm.
Oh, and this is when Ma freaked out, actually, isn't it? And it's like, you can't keep running off. Or is that a different scene that I'm thinking of?
That might be a different... At first, she's like...
No, it's when she goes and finds Roger. And she goes to that town.
Yeah. This one, she's... she had to convince Ma that they had to put pause on finding Billy when she's like, I really feel like this is important.
Yep. And then there's no other people there for Yorick to translate for because instead they just go to a barn, basically, where Lyra finds Billy, who is just sitting there going, 1, 2, 3.
It's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not Billy in the book.
Yeah, it's just a kid.
Yep, some random
Also, at this point in the TV show, we find out that the Magisterium has an alethiometer. As well, we jump to a whole different character named Will.
Yes.
Who becomes a character in the second book.
Lyra and they take this kid, Tony, back to everybody. And everyone's horrified to see this kid because he doesn't have his demon. He's like clinging to this little fish, almost like it's his demon. And they have Lyra go to sleep. And when she wakes up, the captain told Lyra that he passed away. And which she read on the compass that he was going to die before she fell asleep. And so she's like horrified and she goes out and sees him and his fish is gone. And she's like freaking out. She's like, where's his fish? That was the only thing he had was his fish. And the guy, one of the crew members, like, didn't realize it was. I gave it to the dogs or whatever he did with it. And she's freaking out. And She talks with Yorick about why he was exiled because he killed another bear and that's not allowed. And he's also really good at predicting attacks and like he can't be tricked. So like they practiced and she learned about like scalping people and like the TARDIS who are like the bad guys that like I feel like they got mentioned a lot and then not at all.
Yep.
Okay. They are the enemies that are kind of like doing something. There's some bad guys, but they scalp their enemies and everybody else only scalps if it's good people. And I'm like, okay, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's weird. Weird.
And yep. And then she realizes, oh, that head that had been brought at that first meeting was probably an enemy, not a friend. Whereas everyone's assumed it was a friend, even though I don't know. My brain went to dead guy on the table. Like I wouldn't think,
Enemy.
oh, good, that's my friend, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. Same. Pretty much this happened except the TARDIS. And there was something else that I thought about that didn't happen.
The fish part didn't happen. I was very sad about that, actually.
Oh, yeah. That part didn't happen. And instead, we got to see Ma, what's her name?
Costa.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to say Ma Coulter. That's not it. We got to see her and Tony have just a big grief session over Billy.
Yeah, I'm no sad. Yes, Tony is the brother in the book or in the show, not the little kid that they found. That was very confusing when I first was introduced to these characters.
They're like, wait a minute, how did this happen?
I was like, you're too old to be kidnapped. All right, so they're on their way, and all of a sudden they're attacked. And Lyra is, okay, yes, okay. I'm where we are now. So she's attacked. They're all like attacked, and she is captured. And they start asking her about her demon and like how old she is and everything like this. And they brought her to this area, and she decided to make up her name. So she's Lizzie Brooks now, and she decided to act more calm and nervous because Lyra would act more outgoing, and so she's trying to really play it off. And they had her change clothes. She took a shower, and they asked about the alethiometer, but she's like, it's just a toy. And so she was able to keep it. And unbeknownst to her, she was given a sleeping pill and she's brought down to this little dungeon where all these other girls are. And they're talking about how bad it is when Mrs. Coulter comes, and they do experiments on them and all sorts of things. But they always talk about their demons and dust and everything. And then one day Mrs. Coulter came to figure out where her friend was and save him and learn as much as she could. I don't know what that last line means.
And Lyra was learning as much as she could.
That makes sense.
Yeah, not Mrs. Coulter. So in the TV show, at this point in the show, Lee has kind of taken on a father figure role for Lyra, whereas in the book, he felt like a fun uncle figure. But then the rest of that does happen.
So the next day, they're talking about things, and they overhear that there's going to be a fire drill. And
don't fuck with it, Loki. Loki gets
Lyra
up on
comes
my
up with this.
Fuck with cords.
Lyra comes up with this plan where they're gonna, not this time, but they're gonna set off a fire drill and they're gonna go outside and throw snowballs at people. Oh no, actually it was this time. She threw snowballs and they created chaos, and she was able to escape and ran into like a witch's demon. And does she know she's with Roger now, right? Or just in the show with Roger too, in the book too. Yeah. And so they ran into this witch's demon, and he was able to help her unlock the shed thing. She and Roger went inside, and they saw all these severed demons like in cages, and it was awful. And she wanted to let them out and escape, but the demon's like, we can't just break it or they're going to suspect something. We have to make it seem like one of them messed up. So he was able to do witch magic and unlock things, and she was able to sneak back out with Roger without anybody noticing. And that's when Mrs. Coulter shows up and everybody starts freaking out.
In the TV show, this part just becomes a massive amount of TV show drama, basically. And Lyra doesn't break out during the snowball fight, which I thought was weird since that was her whole distraction she was putting together for everyone. But instead, during this part, they call Lyra to get severed because they're like, she's too much trouble. We need to sever her. She's too close to puberty. We have to sever her now. And so she's going to get severed. But then Mrs. Coulter comes in and sees that it's Lyra and is like, stop. And then after that, that's when Lyra like runs and is like, we gotta go. She pulls the fire escape. And so then Roger runs and he releases the kids. And then the Egyptians show up and they start fighting and helping saving kids. And Ma Coast is like, This is for Billy. Do you even remember him?
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah, and then Lyra isn't the one that helps like the witches release everything. It's pretty much Roger who releases the kids, and then Lyra goes to destroy the machine that just almost severed her from her demon.
Yes. So in the book, though, she lets the kids know they have to hold out one more day because that's when everybody's coming to save them. And she wanted to figure out a little bit of information, though, so she crawled through the air vents and she made the kids promise that they knew nothing if they were asked. And she's listening in to Mrs. Coulter and trying to figure out who the heck everyone is. Oh my gosh, I saw him move in yours and I thought that was like, I was like, what the heck?
What happened to me with your kids that one time?
So funny. Oh my gosh. Spooking ourselves out over here. So she's listening to Mrs. Coulter and they have to figure all this out. And they're trying to figure out how everything escaped. They're also talking about this new severing device. It's like basically a guillotine between demon and child. And Mrs. Coulter left Lyra. Oh, no, sorry. Lyra accidentally made a noise and Mrs. Coulter was able to catch it. And then like these guys left and she was brought to the severing room and she was about to be severed, but Mrs. Coulter stopped them.
Pretty much that's the only thing that was the same.
Yes. So it's cool. Mrs. Coulter is acting like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. I love you. And Lyra's like, how dare you do this to everybody? And Lyra then she keeps saying all these excuses and Lyra's like, okay, yeah. She starts pretending that she agrees with her, but she did not at all. So finally she escaped. She set the fire alarms off, like Bri said, and this whole place goes on fire. Like, I don't remember why. Did she blow up the machine in the book too? Because that's what sets it on fire in the movie or the show.
Maybe it is. I thought the witches did something, but I can't
They could have. Everybody's there now. Like the whole, everybody's doing everything. So all the kids know it's time to run because the fire alarm went off. And they go outside and they're running in they're going farther and farther out of the camp or whatever they're at. And finally they see Eric and the Egyptians and everyone shows up and this battle broke out. And in the sky, the witches are doing things and they're all this sort of stuff. And Lyra's talking to Seraphina, because at this point, Seraphina takes her. Like she's saved her. Her and Roger have been saved. And she's asking her about what she's going to do with Lord Asriel because he's been captured and all this sort of stuff. And every answer Lyra told her, she felt off. Like there was something like she should have answered a different way, or she's missing something. And the witch said, it's time for you to sleep. We'll discuss it when you wake up. And Lyra was like, out.
I kind of wish that they went into that a bit more because it felt like it was going to be a big story plot point with where she was feeling how she was answering those. It was never. Yeah. I was like, is it just because she was asleep or not asleep?
Yeah.
Sleepy? Or like, what's going? I kept waiting for that to come back and it just never did.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And then basically at this point in the book, Lyra asks the witches to help Lee tow his hot air balloon.
Mm-hmm.
But in the TV show, Seraphina comes up to Lee and is like, I'm here to tow your hot air balloon because I figured you might need it.
So now Lee and Seraphina Pekala are talking and he's like wanting compensation for travel and war and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, well, sucks. We're in a war. Like, pick a side. Deal with it. We all have to deal with it. And then she gave him like moral feelings about Lyra and all this sort of stuff.
That does happen in the show. Yep, that happens.
That happens. Lyra wakes up and talks with Seraphina and she's like, please talk about dust. I don't know what dust is. Can you tell me? But Seraphina doesn't even really know. And they talk about Uric became exiled and all sorts of things and Lyra went back to sleep.
Yep, that happens.
Okay. Lyra was woken up again by attack on the balloon. And they crashed. Oh, yeah, because they're in the balloon now. So the Seraphina had brought them to the balloon. That's where they'd been this whole time. And so they crashed and Lyra, or she just fell out.
Yeah, she fell out.
Then she was captured by bears.
Yes, this happens.
Yep. So she woke up again. She sleeps a lot for someone that's going through stuff. And she sees fireflies all over the place. No, she doesn't. Fireflies over Lyra. That's what that's supposed to say. Lyra.
She sees fireflies all over the place. Nope.
I don't remember
Lyra.
fireflies. Lyra, not firefly. Lyra goes over to see and figure out where she is. Oh, because she hears a noise. And she goes over to see what it is. And it's this guy chained up on a wall. And he's from the college. And they start talking of all sorts of things. And we find out that this king bear, I don't remember what his name is.
Yofer.
Okay. Yofer, he really wants a demon. And so I was like, interesting.
Yep. That happens.
Yep. So Lyra came up with this plan. And she went out pretending that she's Urik's demon. Because Serafina was able to make this happen. And
no, Mrs. Coulter.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Mrs. Coulter was able to make this happen. And she's like, but I don't want to be Urik's demon. I want to be your demon. So, but there's some things that have to happen for the transfer to work because Mrs. Coulter can't make another one. This one ended up being I was too powerful with a bear, so she can't make another one. So let's figure this out. And he asked her to prove it. And she's like, I can. Oh, no. First, she says, the thing you have to do is defeat Urik. And he's like, prove to me who you are. And she's like, I can, but I gotta go to a different room. Ask me a question that only a demon would know. And so he's like, I think he asked, what did he say? Oh, yeah, who was the first bear I killed? And it was like his father. Or the first thing I killed, it was his father or something like that. And so he was like, oh my gosh, you are a demon.
Then he asks her a second question in the book. I can't remember what it was. But he asks her a second one because he's like, maybe that's a fluke thing. And then he's like, you are a demon. In the TV show, he only asks her the one question.
Yes. All right. So King Bear, he's over here getting pumped. He's like ready to fight this kid. This other bear. This kid. This other bear.
I'm going to take Lyra out.
And so Lyra convinced him, hey, I got to go talk to Urik first. I got to convince him that I'm still on his side. Let's play double agent here. He's like, yes, go tell him whatever you need to tell him. So in reality, she went over and let him know the plan and say, hey, this is what happened. You have to defeat him. And he's like, sweet, we got this. Battle begins. Urik's about to die. And Lyra's just so sad. But then he was able to trick the bear. And the only reason this worked is because this bear is trying to be human. Also, this bear is apparently the one who's had the head at the beginning. So Lord Asriel lied.
Yep. He died.
He died.
So in the book, when Lyra runs to talk to Urik, she meets him out in the snow where he's running towards. In the TV show, she meets him in the caves, which I think is so dumb because won't one of Yofer's people freaking hear them saying like, hey, so I'm tricking him.
Right.
Here's what you need to do. And then Lyra doesn't even tell freaking Urik in the TV show, hey, I'm your demon. She does in a way, but it's not like a full thing. It's just a quick thing. And then he cuts her off and is like, you tricked him? Okay, let's go.
Let's do this.
Yep. And then during the fight, Yofer realizes that Lyra is not a demon, so then gets mad at her. And then that's when Urik gets up and because she runs over, I think, to him because he's hurt. And so then Yofer's like, I'm going to kill you because you're lying to me. And then Urik jumps up and is like,
just like that. So Lyra's taking a rest and she's woken up. And the bear council wants to see her. She goes and she helps them by reading the alethiometer. And because Urik is now Bear King. And
isn't it they want to keep her there to read the alethiometer?
Yes. So they're like, hey, you should stay here. You're helpful. And she's like, no, I gotta go see Lord Asriel. So that's her plan.
Because also Lord Asriel was a prisoner of Yofer's. So she's like, I have to go save him and talk to him. The bears she never sees the bear council, and they don't say to stay. They just go. And then a battle starts because the magisterium shows up and starts bombing the place because they realize what's about to happen because Mrs. Coulter has been working with Yofer. And so she hears about him passing and is like, oh shit, we need to go. Yep. And then a battle ensues.
Yep. So she went to see Lord Asriel and he flipped out when he saw her. He's like, oh yeah, I didn't call for you. But then he calmed down
Calm down a bitch.
Played it off and kept going, but I did not. Gosh. My no swearing on the podcast. No, I ruined it.
It's been broken in the most epic of ways. Calm down a bitch. That's our new sticker. Calm down a bitch.
This might be our little teaser. I'm crying. It's not even that funny. It's because we're tired.
Because we're tired and because you don't cuss on the podcast and it came out so calm down a bitch. I'm just picturing Lord Asriel calming down a bitch.
Smack him. No, my God. So he calmed down a bit when he saw Roger, okay? Because Roger went with, what's her name? Lyra. And so they went away, Lyra and Roger, and then finally it was time to go back to see Dad. And they're talking about all sorts of things, like what the heck is dust and all this sort of stuff. And he's like, it's sin and all this sort of stuff. I don't even know how he went on about. I'm still confused. Do you know? Can you explain it?
It's sin. It is basically sin.
They like quoted Bible verses and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. In the book, here's my last note, apart from the stuff that I need to talk about in season 2. In the book, Azrael sounded fucking insane explaining dust to Lyra. And I was like, I think if I were Lyra and I went to see my father, I do quotations because I mean, he was uncle for so long and now he's father and she doesn't know how to feel. She's trying to figure out how to feel. And she is seeing him for the first real time being like, you're my dad. Tell me about dust. He tells her about dust and keeps quoting the Bible, keeps saying how the magisterium's crazy and how there's dust on people up until puberty and then there's no dust or vice versa.
I think it's vice versa.
No, it is. Huh? It is vice versa?
Yeah, because the dust is the sin, right? And so they're trying to
they're
chop the sin.
innocent when yep. Okay. And so he just sounds fucking psychotic in the book.
Yeah.
I think it's also the voice actor who did it. It was like very much like when doing all this monologue part, which makes sense. It's a character choice. It makes sense. But I love how James McAvoy does it. Oh, I didn't. I read this one.
Your inner monologue made it so crazy.
That's hilarious. Well, I also, now that I hear the dude in the second and the third book, I could just picture him doing that in this one. I guess, did he do that? Oh, you don't remember. Well, he just sounded insane. He sounded like a psychopath to me. I was like, what the fuck? And then in the TV show, Azrael's explaining it, and he does so in a way where he like sits down with her and is very calm about it and is like, well, here's what they say it is. Here's what I think it is. Here's what I think we need to do with it. And like basically dumbs it down for a kid to understand, whereas I feel like he does not do that in the book.
Yeah. Yep. So eventually she's like, here's the alethiometer. I brought it for you. And he's like, cool, I don't want it. And she's like, what? Like, I brought you this across the country and you just don't care about it. And he's like, nope, that's not my plan anymore. I have determined a way that I'm going to eliminate dust forever. I just can't talk tonight, which is what got me locked up because the magisterium does not like that and all this sort of stuff. And he's like, you can keep the alethiometer. And she's just like, okay, cool.
Yep, that happens.
Okay. So Lyra's back doing her own thing. And then some demon came and told Lyra, was it a witch demon? Probably. Must have been. Or something. Came and said,
no, it wasn't a demon.
Who was it?
It's the butler dude.
Who's a
Thorold
butler?
or whatever? Yeah,
Huh?
Thorold, the dude. The guy who,
I have
like,
no idea.
opens the door for them and gets them dinner and a bath drawn and comes and is like, hey, I just had to help your dad get Roger dressed.
I have no memory of this.
That's fucking... What about in the TV show? You don't remember the old dude who Mrs. Coulter, like, encounters?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, Thorold, we know each other better than this. What is he doing? Yeah, that dude.
Okay, got it. All right.
Oh, that's one thing. I should also say this here, because there's some differences in like what I was just talking about where we see Mrs. Coulter when she lands before she goes up to the mountain with Azrael. We see her figuring things out, which are things that are just assumed happen in the book. So we're actually seeing it happen in the TV show.
Right.
So
right.
I didn't make notes of any of that stuff because a lot of it was like, well, I mean, it makes sense that that would be what just happened because
It's
then
just...
the next scene, this person's up here doing this.
Yeah, it's just extra behind the scene details.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he lets Lyra know, hey, I had to get Roger ready for your dad. So he's like over there with him. And Lyra, it all clicked. Like, why is her dad was freaked out to see her. And then it calmed down when he saw Roger. And so she's like, oh my gosh, he's going to sever his demon. So she goes running and because he needed a child to finish the task. And she got Yorick and they raced up the mountain. And this battle breaks out again. And finally she got to the top, but she was too late. Lord Azrael used the severed demon and it opened the aurora sky. And Roger died. That was so sad.
In the TV show, she actually gets to him and like reaches into his cage to like hold his hand right before his
That was even
demon
sadder.
floats away.
Yeah, that was sad. So Mrs. Coulter then comes up, and Lord Asriel and her make out for a little bit. So that's cool. And then he's like, "Come with me," because the heavens split open, and they're clearly like another world over there. And she's like, "No, the church will never allow this. We're not going to get away with it." And he's like, "I don't care. Eventually they will like it." And Lyra and Pan are like hearing this, and then they're talking, and Pan's like, oh, because then life happens. I think Lord Asriel goes through the thing. Mrs. Coulter goes somewhere else. Yep. And Pan and her are talking, and it's like, well, what if dust is opposite? Like the bad guys think it's bad, so maybe it's good. And she's like, that's a great idea, Pan. So they're going to go find more dust.
Yeah. Which, when you think about it that way, the rest of the book kind of gets more confusing because I don't think her goal is still to find more dust.
Yeah. I don't think she did that at all in book 2.
Oh, no. And book 3,
Not really either.
she's right back to what she was doing in book 1.
So IMDb credited 166 people for this TV show. So we're obviously not going to talk about all of them.
TV show.
Yes, I picked and chose, and I realized I forgot one that I really wanted to talk about because I was so excited.
Yeah. Oh, I have an itch on the back of my back.
But we could start with Daphne Keene played Lyra.
I love her. I love that she's X-23 and then she's in this, and I think she's perfect. Lyra's supposed to be a little blonde girl, so she's not completely the right fit for her, but I love her as Lyra.
That's right. I forgot that's where I knew her from. I was like, she looks familiar. Where have I seen her?
Yeah, she's X-23.
Yep. Then, yes, I liked her too. Then we have Kit Connor played Pan. Pantomime and his cute little voice.
Yeah, he's got a cute little voice.
I love his voice. Oh my gosh. I got to make sure I'm right with my thoughts. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay. Ruth Wilson played Mrs. Coulter.
I have issues with her just because of her mouth. Her mouth looks weird to me. And so every time she's on screen, I'm just staring at her mouth. So I recast. And I told Allie who I recast, and I was like, I don't think I could do this. And she's like, why not? I think it works because I just think it's very ironic and very hilarious because as I was watching the TV show, I knew I wanted to recast her. And I was like, okay, well, as you're watching, think of who would work for this role. And there was a scene. It was a scene with Lyra. So it must have been when Lyra was either living with her or after Lyra was almost severed. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need to recast her. Who would I recast? And I was watching the scene and I was like, God damn, Nicole Kidman would be great as Mrs. Coulter. And then I realized, oh, damn, Nicole Kidman played Mrs. Coulter in the bad rendition of this.
So she can do it.
Yeah, so she can do it. She's done it. But I think she would be great in this role. Just dye her hair brown to make her match Lyra.
Yeah.
Plus then, okay, this is gonna sound bitchy, but when you have someone that looks like James McAvoy, I feel like you can't have someone that looks like this Ruth chick.
That's so mean.
Sorry, the whole time Ruth. I'm just like, what, James? What?
What do you see in her?
Yeah. She's a bitch, so it can't be her personality.
Gosh, I didn't think she was bad. I thought she looked, this is going to be mean. She looked like I'll say it nicer. She looked like sort of like Peggy from the Avengers, but not as Peggy-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have Joe Tandberg as voice of Yorick. I love that his IMDb picture is Yorick.
That's the best. I love him as Yorick. I love Yorick.
His deep voice is so angry all the time.
Except for, who played him in the movie? I think it was Ian McKellen.
Really?
I
gotta look it up.
I think.
IMDb Gildan. Oh, Daniel Craig was Lord Asriel. Yep. How funny. Well, there's so many good people. Christopher Lee. Sam Elliott was Lee.
Yeah.
I want to watch it now. Okay. There's a lot of good ones. All right. Mr. James McAvoy was Lord Asriel.
He is why I wanted to watch this show.
I
love him.
I love that it's like, when I saw, well, we'll talk about next episode. for Lee, but like this big name, and then a lot of like, I mean, maybe they're big names, but they're not like movie stars that I would consider necessarily. Like, I'm sure they
Yeah. I
right,
mean, James
done
McAvoy
things.
is the biggest one.
Yeah.
And Lynn, but
yeah. But so I was like, oh wow, no, that was kind of cool. See, we have to do James Cosmo played Far Decorum. I liked him.
I love him so much. He was really good.
And Lucian Massamat.
Samadi. He was really good too.
He was. And Marie Duff played Ma Costa.
I love her. She's in a TV show that me and my mom watch that I absolutely adore. It's called Bad Sisters, and the whole premise is she is married to a man who is very abusive, and the sisters are sick of him and plot to kill him. And so the show starts with him dead, so you know that it's a success, but you don't know how. And the rest of the season is telling that story and figuring out how it happened and what happened. And I think the best part is like every episode, one sister comes up with one plan and they try to do it, but then something like throws it off track. So you're like, oh, it's going to be this. Oh, no, it wasn't that. Oh, but what is it?
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
I liked it. He did good. She did good. Sorry, I was scrolling down. I was on the boys already.
You're good.
I think we for sure got to at least do Lewin Lloyd, who played Roger. He looked, okay, this is going to be mean. He, especially in the cold and like he's all bundled up, right? He was very pale and his lips were very puckered and pink. He reminded me from Monsters, Inc. When the monster gets his screams sucked out of him and he's stuck in the scream machine. I know. I felt bad thinking of it, but I could not stop thinking of it every time I saw him.
That's hilarious. Poor kid. I think he's so cute. I love it.
He was so cute. That's just what I thought of. I was like, oh, I'm a bad person. And my last one, I just want to shout out because I thought it was so fun to see, was Harry Melling played the guy that stole Yorick's armor, and he was Dudley Dursley.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. Just to see him as something else.
Yeah, that is fun, huh?
But anyways. Okay. Is the theme of the book and movie the same?
Yeah.
Do the characters stay true in the, I guess, show how they were written in the book?
Yes, they do.
I think so. Which do you prefer?
I shocked myself. I loved the book so much. I prefer the book. Yeah.
I prefer the TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I just was confused, I feel like, for the majority of it. I wonder if going back and rereading it now.
Yeah. You
I
might
would feel different.
enjoy it more.
I don't know if I would. I like the show.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job.
Oh, they did. It was really
engaging
like, I thought for sure, because I didn't like rewatch the whole 3 seasons before we recorded, right? I was just like, okay, I remember it well enough to know differences, and what I'll do is pick up bigger differences after I read the book and watch it that time. So I was like, after I finished the book, I was like, I bet I'm going to go through and watch the show and love the show more than the book. But season 1, I was like, no, the book was just so damn good. I enjoyed it so much.
It was good. I just like I like the show.
Yeah.
But cool.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
Fix all these now. I would recommend it. Yes.
Oh, yeah, me too. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Book and show.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I said I would recommend it. Okay.
Yes, you would. Yes, we're on our next part.
Yes. Which now we have a website, you guys, that I have to update in all my notes now, but that's okay.
It is this website, winoffscript.com. Look at that. No more wigsite.com.
No more credit to them.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye. If you still go to our old website, it'll have I'll put a link saying we've moved and go here.
So you won't get lost, but check out our website.
Yes, for sure. And on that website, you can rate, subscribe, review our favorite things.
We would appreciate it. I bet we could even put a page to link to our Patreon. So if you wanted to help support us and become our exclusive members and be able to join our live recordings.
Yeah, you'll be an adventure.
Sure will be if it's anything like tonight was.
Yes, there is a link already on there, a little at the bottom of the screen. You can click on it for Patreon, and it'll bring you right there.
And then you'll be able to watch us do this live, guys.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
We're fun.
I think so. I think we're a blast.
I think so too.
Ow. I just hit my hand. On Wednesday, we might have a mini-sode. I was going to try and record one tonight, but I'm too tired. So maybe next week.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Who knows?
Yep. And then next week we have His Dark Materials Season 2, The Subtle Knife. Yes. So
Let's see how that one does.
Yeah, we'll take the information that was in Season 1 from this one and let you know about it.
And tell you.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love that so much.
Love that for us.
But with that, His Dark Materials, Season 1. Oh, wait, we're doing it where... Wait, no, that's right. Never mind.
Because we do the...
Let me redo this.
We do the show or the book or whatever.
Yeah, the movie. I got confused because we threw in the Golden Compass. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, that's what I'm supposed to do. No, it is.
I didn't know if we wanted to say both of them or just Season 1. So that's why I put them both in there. So
no, because remember, we're doing the movie. If the movie name is different, we say that when off script.
That's true.
So with that, His Dark Material Season 1.
When off script.
Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Shen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast.
See you next time.